seem to be audible. I don't seem to be audible. Can folks hear me? Can folks hear me? Can folks hear me? I think I am very quiet. I think I am very quiet. I think I am very. Oh, I wonder what. I am very. Oh, I wonder what. I am very. Oh, I wonder what. Oh, I wonder what. It's like. What speakers are we using? What speakers are we using? And did I just crash my volume mixer? Because that's possible. Because that's possible. Okay. Let's try that again. 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 Okay. Well, hopefully folks can hear me. Hopefully folks can hear me. Hopefully folks can hear me. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put this music back on. Y'all let me know if you can't hear me over the music. But let's review where we were with the Moomin House last time. We finished the first 2 packages, which were 4 kits. So we made the tent, the coat rack, the bed, and this entryway thing, and this stove. And we have this piece of floor, which we have not done yet anything with. So I was figuring we'll go through the next box of stuff, which I have over here. So I'm just gonna get all the pieces out here, and we're gonna sort what is in kit 5 versus kit 6, so that we can actually do them. Okay. So first of all, this set came with like a bunch of Moomin Troll stickers, just kind of like for funsies. They're pretty cool. There's one of Frickin' Snork Knitting, so I'm happy. But they're not, part of this kit, so we're gonna put them away. So this contains 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm gonna pull out only 5 for right now and see what it is that we're supposed to have in it. So it's supposed to have, looks like this, so the other half of the floor. Cool. Comes with a paintbrush, which is nice. I don't think it comes with paint, but it comes with a paintbrush. The kitchen stove, which is this thing. Yep, 5B. Okay, great. We know that. Oh, they're labeled. Okay, so this is Moomin House 6. So this is going away. And this is Moomin House 8. So that's going away. And this is Moomin House 7. So that's going away. So we're going to only be dealing with this kit, this part, and that part, which is good. But let's look at the magazine and see what we've got happening here. So here's what the stove is going to look like when it's done. I think this is just the start of it. So let's see. In this issue, we assemble and paint the ground floor plus tiles on the porch roof, built in issue 3, and we start to assemble the kitchen stove. So that is pretty exciting. So let's see what we've got going here. First of all, we've got some write-up about the Hattifatteners, most mysterious inhabitants of Moomin Valley. Books present them as creepy but interesting creatures. Outwardly, the Hattifatteners are white, have an elongated torso, and resemble fingers. They do not speak, as they have no mouths, but they communicate through gestures. Their eyes are usually blue-white. Hattifatteners are energized by electricity, especially during thunderstorms, and emit a glow. So, apparently, It's not exactly known where they live, but on the summer solstice they gather on a deserted island. So they, Moomin Papa told of the journeys of the Hatton Fatteners, and Snufkin sowed Hattifattener seeds, and many new Hattifatteners grew. So I guess they grow from the ground. And the Hemulen annoyed the Hattifatteners by taking their barometer. I would be annoyed too if anybody took my barometer. Once a year on the summer solstice, Hattifatteners travel to their island to hold secret meetings. In the secret of the Hattifatteners are described as dangerous creatures who avoid communication. Hattifatteners have also been known to emerge if seeds are sown on the eve of the summer solstice. So there's a bunch of kind of variations of them. They do look a little bit like weird ghostly things. But here are our instructions. So we've got additional supports and tiles, the hood, the rear wall, and the flue for the furniture. And then we're supposed to have a brush and brown paint, which we very much do not seem to have. We do not have any brown paint. That is terribly annoying, but I will, I guess... Well, first of all, I will, check if I just own some brown paint, which I might. Yeah, because tube of acrylic paint was absolutely... We were supposed to have this starter paint kit. I will have to complain to them about the fact that there's no paint. But meanwhile, I guess we'll do this. But I don't know if I can assemble this without the paint. I should double check that it's not in some other container. So this is, yeah, this definitely does not have it. And this, oh no, there it is. It's just under the. Let's take all the parts out, shall we? Sorry about the noise. So yep, we do have paint. It's just hidden. And then this is going to be for the stove. This is all of our stove parts. I think this might be just the part that tells us that this is not for children under 14. But let's double check that. Ah yes, and where DiAgostini is, which is in Bond Park Avenue in New York. Made in China. Okay, cool beans. That goes in the garbage. Okay. Let's take apart all of these. I did order myself a tackle box to actually keep all of these little small bits, because they recommend keeping them kind of in a something with lots of compartments. Alright, so these are our tiles for the roof for this thing. And this is our floor. And this is a brush, and also the supports that are for the porch. Okay, so that's the supports, and this is the brush, and that's my my light going out for reasons I do not know and I'm not happy about. I wonder why the light went out. Pardon me. The light, where you were plugged in right there into like an actual tower. Not even drawing power from. Well, it's probably overheating is what it's doing. That's never good. Like, it's never good for your power thing to be overheating. Well, it's never good for anything to be overheating. Sorry, guys. There we go. Just plugged it to another little brick. I got nothing. Alright, so step 1, assembling the ground floor. It is more convenient to add water with a pipette. See below how to open the paint. Okay, great. Squeeze the paint into a palette, then add water. Okay, so this wants me to have palette and water. I did not think about that when I sat down. So, I am terribly sorry. I'm going to put a BRB screen on because I'm going to go grab a paint palette and some water. And I will be literally back in a moment. Promise. Okay, see, if you do a lot of calligraphy, which I in fact have done, you have a lot of these lying about, and this will have to do. I don't think I have any useful way to let you guys see me mix paint, but I'm going to mix brown paint with, you know, some water. As per instructions, without... Also, I love this. Practice on spare wood. Where am I supposed to get spare wood from exactly? Okay. So add water in a 1:10 ratio. Okay. That is gonna be hilarious to mix, but well, I guess maybe I. Okay, so I note that my paint is nothing like theirs. I don't need to puncture anything or anything, but we're gonna add a tiny bit of paint, and then we're going to add some water, and we're just going to keep mixing it until it's the right color. Just because, like, the heck else are we going to do? I don't know about you, but I have a hard time being able to estimate a 10-to-1 ratio in my paint mixing. Yeah, okay, well, this is a pretty cheap and terrible brush, but it's better than no brush, I suppose. And I'm glad they actually bothered to provide it. I'm supposed to practice on spare wood, which I guess means these toothpicks, because that's about what I got for spare wood. Also, I don't know where I put my, like, container of toothpicks. Yeah, I don't know. I had, like, large amounts of said toothpicks somewhere. Oh well. Hopefully I won't need any more of them. But let's practice applying paint to them. Yeah, okay. A little bit like a varnish. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's somewhat reasonable. Now, what do they want me to do with it exactly? Stir paint thoroughly. Practice on some spare wood. Try not to paint in multiple layers. Yeah, okay. Paint the floor. So we got a part 1. Do not let too much paint accumulate on the brush. Paint in the direction of the wood grain from left to right in the photo shown. Okay. Here's our photo shown here for you guys. Keep the paint even. Try not to paint over the same area several times. Continue to paint as described as step 3. Okay. Before the paint dries, blot the surface with a paper napkin to avoid excess paint. Okay. Color is too light. Let the paint dry and apply another layer. Okie dokie. And according to them, I am supposed to do that to this piece first, and then to the other piece, which, okay, valid. And, you know, left to right. Without having too much paint on my brush. This is gonna be mostly invisible. I don't know if you guys can even see that I'm applying any paint to this. It is fairly transparent, but this wood also, like, just gobbles up the wet. Sort of feel like what I should have done is gotten some wood stain to use, but this works too. I just don't think I have any wood stain currently in the house, but it's okay. Yeah, this is not bad, and I think actually anything that's going to end up being uneven is going to be fine, because it's a floor of what is supposed to be like an old country house, so it's not like very even either. And I'm totally not following their instructions about not painting over an area more than once, because that's helping me kind of get the colorful water, which is what this is. It's not paint, it's colored water, like, into the thing. I am, however, trying to not, like, to always go this way, to not go this way, because that will be visible and not in a good way. But as you can see, like, with the with the little boards here and everything. This is supposed to be some reasonably nice parquet floor. Which is one of those words where I wonder if it just means wood floors in French or something, and not like super fancy wood floors like it does in America. Because like growing up in Russia, you either had parquet, which was, you know, nice little thin planks of wood, or you had just regular wood floors, because there's no such thing as wall-to-wall carpeting, because why would you do that to yourself? Some people put like rugs on top of their wood floors, but not if you know, had children with asthma or dust allergies, because that's how you torture your children with asthma, is by having carpets. In fact, I think most of the rugs I saw growing up in Russia were hung on walls and not on floors, because that is how you make walls more insulated, both for sound and for temperature, is you put rugs on them. So, like big fancy Turkish carpets go on the wall, kind of like medieval tapestries, for the same reason that people put tapestries on their walls in medieval times, in fact. Made drafty stone castles a little bit less drafty. And then they're telling me to put like, use a paper napkin, by which I assume they mean like a tissue, to wipe away any excess. And I don't think I have any excess, because I think that it just got like very nicely absorbed by the wooden board. A little dampness on the napkin. I mean, I think this is like reasonably okay floor. Getting down to more concentrated brown color in the paint dish as the water kind of gets taken away. Here's my napkin here. Yeah, there's a little bit of paint there. Not a lot. Okay, so we're gonna assume that that's done. And then it's like paint part 1 from issue 4. In the same way as you did 3 to 5, you have applied too much paint, dab it with a paper napkin. Okay, realistic flooring tip. If you apply little paint in a few places with light strokes, the floor will be more realistic. After the first coat has dried, apply paint here and there using the tip of the brush. If there's too much paint, blot it out. Okay. A coat of glossy varnish will give the floor a finished effect. The varnish can be applied in a thin layer. Dilute the varnish with water at a ratio of 1:1 and apply to the floor surface. Avoid a thick coat. I have like spray-on varnish, so I might do that. And then we're supposed to glue the floor pieces together. Apply wood glue to the edges of the join and join them together by aligning the pegs and recesses in each part. Remove excess adhesive immediately. If the floor is slightly uneven, it will level out by itself during the construction of the house. If it's not noticeably bowed, it must be flattened. You do that with an iron. Okay. We will do that. Okay, so I'm going to let this kind of hang out over there and paint this piece now. I feel like there is not enough water in my paint conglomerate there. Oh yes, so I started talking about whether this was just hardwood floor or parquet or what. So when we see like parquet being mentioned in like The Sims, right? It is used to describe some of the fancy inlaid stuff. And I'm just used to it being, you know, like this. Made out of smaller planks and not just like regular boards like the rest of the house was built with or something. But I don't know what the actual technical definition of the word is. So if anybody knows or has access to the Google that I don't because I'm streaming, I am very curious. I feel like this might be ending up darker than the other half of the floor, which is fine because it's going to be a different room, but still. There's my blotting napkin. A little bit darker, but like not a huge amount darker. I do think I want to do the floor painted realism that they were talking about, where I wait for it to dry, which it now has on this side, and then like apply a little bit more here and there with kind of like the edge of the I don't think that necessarily worked. Yeah, they were like talking about just coloring in, you know, like one board's worth at a time kind of deal. Making it a little bit more colored in, which like I sort of get, but I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, I'm gonna declare victory here and declare that painted brown. Now we're gonna apply glue to all of that. And I did pick up a giant thing of glue for when we run out of the little tiny glue thing that they gave us. But for now, we still have the tiny little glue thing that they gave us, so we're gonna continue using it while we can. Put the glue on the edge. Maybe I should have just squeezed this glue directly onto here from the container, but I not think of that until kind of after I put it on the little piece of plastic that I've been using as a glue repository this entire time. I was assembling, I got my housemate a kit from the Broken Token to like hold all of his Terraforming Mars game. And I was assembling that yesterday. Today's his birthday. I was assembling that yesterday. And I'm mostly done assembling it, but it's got some other bits, and so I think I need to still add some wood glue to the party. Okay, so that's gonna be what we do here, and like they said, get rid of extra glue right away. In my case, like, just wipe it with your finger. Okay, and then this just needs to be like squished tight. I have stuff to, in theory, hold it together. So I did get these tools, but I don't actually know if they are wide enough. They might not be. Yeah, no, they're not wide enough. My calipers are not wide enough. So I'm going to very carefully put this on an empty flat surface behind me. I have like 3 trays of hobby things, like my Sculpey and my dice making, and you know, the empty space where this tray of Moomin assembly was. So it's gonna just like hang out there, and hopefully it will glue itself together even without like me holding it taut. So glue into the crevice, which I know I'm not doing where you guys can see it, but I'm doing it where I have the flat surface. So unfortunately, I did not necessarily think this very well through. It's like the story of this adventure. None of this was well thought through. And here we are. Here we are. Just need this glue to like seep into that crack and stay there forever and ever be glue. Very little else it can be other than glue. So it needs to be itself. Here's hoping. I'm gonna move on to the next page. The ground floor is ready. For next issue, we'll start assembling the framework of the walls. Cool. Hello, Absurd Nerd. How are you? Right, so we are going to be adding extra supports and the roof to this thing. So, take the porch assembled. Here's our porch. It's been assembled. Issue 4, and insert the extra supports through the holes in the lower part. Pull them through and insert them in the ends into the holes in the porch roof. Okay. Ooh, thank you for subscribing. Also, like 17 months. Holy cow. Okay, so we are supposed to put this literally through the holes from the bottom. I don't know how likely that is to work. Like, the holes are not very, Yep, there we go. Line that up. There we go. Go all the way through and into the actual porch roof. Right, insert the ends into the holes in the porch roof. Add a drop of glue to keep the supports in place. Okay, sure thing, team. We'll add a drop of glue, also known as a glob of glue. I think maybe for the next one I'm just gonna put the glue near there first before I shove anything in there. That way, when it shoves in there, it'll shove some glue through. Okay. That. And that. And okay. Go shove some glue in there with yourself. And okay. Attach the second support. Okay. Done. Look at those supports. Okay, then we have these separate each row of tiles. Alright, let's do that with a craft knife. Each row has a number on it relating to its position on the roof. Number will be covered up by the next row of tiles. Okay. Yep, I see the numbers. And we have a non-sucky craft knife now. Ooh, hi Disco, and also thank you for hydrate. Totally need it. Thank you for lurking. I hope you could hear that. I could hear it, as you could probably tell, because it elicited immediate dancing. Yay! Thank you for letting me know. I've been having totally weird sound issues, but here we are. I don't know about beautiful dance though, but you know, like it was certainly a something. It was related to the music, which is really all I can hope for from completely tone-deaf me. So, you know. Okay, so this is our not numbered, I guess, top bit. Let's separate all the bits. So this is number 11. I don't entirely know how these go on the roof, but I will trust in the process and in that this will like tell me in my little step-by-step instructions is how to do it. Doing this reminds me like just how much I really love assembling things. That's true. Like I've been told in, you know, children's sports that enthusiasm absolutely counts for a lot. So I've been riding that to success for years and years. Just 9, 8. Yeah, this like reminds me how much I really enjoy putting things together. Like, this is why I really like putting like IKEA furniture together and stuff. Because I am, I'm that guy. I love putting IKEA things together. Because they do a very good job at writing out the instructions. As long as you're like fluent in IKEA instructions specifically. I remember watching some sort of weird, like, funny human tricks or whatever TV show on Netflix, and people had to assemble this piece of IKEA furniture. And they had all the parts, and somebody else far away had the instructions, and they had walkie-talkies. Yeah, snowflood. Yeah, so somebody else had the instructions. So they basically told them what to do over a walkie-talkie. But the person with the instructions couldn't see any of the parts, and the person with the parts couldn't see any of the instructions. And it was one of those, like, communication exercises. And, it was hard. Definitely hard. I remember also we were in a LARP, and we had a totally pretend Twitch, this is pretend, totally pretend like explosive diffusion situation, where some people had the instructions far away, and other people had the actual like wires and things, and we had to use our cell phones to basically to call each other and read the instructions and like cut the red wire. You might think there's more than one red wire, but there's only one red wire. Oh my god, you're colorblind, get somebody else to find the wire. Like that kind of conversation. Yeah. For some reason, the people who invented like the wiring on at least television explosives, who had like the red, green, and blue wires, like, I am sure it was invented by dudes, and dudes are the ones who are also mostly colorblind. So like, why is there a red and a green wire? Like why? Why did we not like pick, there's a white wire and a black wire and a stripy wire? Which game is it? I don't think I've ever played that one. Okay, so I've separated the tile rows. Apply glue to back of row. Place the row exactly on the line. Align with the edge. Okay, on the porch roof, start gluing the tile rows from the right-hand side. This is my right-hand side. Stick the bottom row with wood glue. Alright, well, we've got all this here handy wood glue. These are like cardboard pieces of paper that are gonna represent our tiles. And I am trusting that they're gonna not look super cheesy. And not like cheesy like our friend Cheesy, but cheesy like not real tiles. And they said do this exactly on the line. Yes! We are currently planning on meeting up at this chef-led food tour of the Pike Place Market. It's rank ableism. There are stripy wires too in reality. Some are red with green stripes. Okay, red with green stripe wires are terrible. I am not usually a hug person, but like I will make exceptions for like meeting friends for the first time or after a very long time. That is an exception worthy kind of thing. Okay, glue the second row. Glue evenly along the top line. So we're gonna glue this like, oh yeah, okay, along the next line up. Okay. Align the edge with the edge of the roof. Okay, good to know. Okay, so hang on. Absurd nerd. So red and green stripes on wires? Like, but why? And I understand when you say rank privilege, I do, but like the people with the rank are still dudes and 10% of them are still colorblind, right? Like, I'm not kidding here. Like 10% of people with a Y chromosome. So not necessarily dudes, but humans who have an XY pair of chromosomes because of literally how those chromosomes control sight, having no redundancy by having a second X are much more likely to be colorblind than people with 2 or I guess more X's. So like, you know, one assumes, you know, for whatever reason, but one assumes that the people who are, you know, who have the rank are also likely to have the Y chromosome problem. So I just don't understand this, like... Now, I do know that a lot of times people don't know they're colorblind until fairly late. Like, there are many, many stories of people in their 30s and etc. Oh, that kind of privilege. Yeah, okay, that makes much more sense. We were talking about, like, the military, I think, and I thought you mean, like, people of high rank. You know. But, like, yeah, there's all these stories of people finding out in their 30s that they're colorblind. Like, one of the fun stories that I heard of is a dude who went like on a camping trip with his friends, and he was like 35 or something. And he said he walked into the living room and somebody handed him a bowl of like Christmas colored, I think Skittles, right? So they were all red and green. And they asked him to find, like, to get a green one. And he was like, you're kidding, right? They're all the same color. And that's when he found out he was colorblind. And his wife said, you know, that explains why your clothes always look like they do. And I was always very surprised to hear that sort of story because I took biology in high school. And one of the things in biology textbook are those circles with the numbers on them, you know? Like, you know the ones I'm talking about where there's red dots and green dots of various shades of red and green, and they have a number in them. You're supposed to look at the circle and, like, do you see the number in the circle? And if you don't, you're colorblind. And there's a blue-yellow one as well. There's now websites that have those things. But apparently this is, like, a terribly common story. Videos of people being gifted those color correction glasses and seeing all the colors. So I was listening, I listened to lots of podcasts, and one of the ones I listened to was about Mr. Dalton, who invented colorblindness. He did not invent it. He probably didn't even discover it, but he's the worst one to document it. Somewhere in the, like, 1500s, 1600s, something like that. He was talking about how he always talked about how people are like talking about how pink is related to red, and to him they look like they're on completely like unrelated wrong parts of the spectrum, because, you know, people probably showed him things and said this is pink. And he realized they were not just like, people weren't just weird and he was the normal one. when he kind of like had that conversation with somebody in Twilight, because apparently in Twilight, people with color blindness can see colors a little bit better. And he was in this perfect position. He was a headmaster for a school of boys, and whole families sent all of their sons there, and he just he could study how these boys were doing color perception, and he realized that, like, well, you know, these ones see things like he does, and so do all their brothers and their dad, but not their mom or their sisters. And he did discover that women can be colorblind way more rarely, but he absolutely said that this was something that was running in families. He was absolutely incorrect about what the cause was, but he had a bunch of, this is made me think about it, is the glasses you're talking about. He made a bunch of like glass bottles with color liquid in them. And he would look through them until he would see what somebody else was describing. And then he also had others where other people would look through them to see things the way that he could see things. This is how he determined that it was a red-green thing. It's really interesting. Like, I'm totally butchering the story, but like, look it up. It's a really cool, interesting, like a bunch of stuff that he discovered and kind of how he discovered it and things. It was really pretty damn neat. Okay, why is this like not sticking down? Glue. You know what you should be doing? You should be gluing to the... Okay, so in the same way as in step 6, glue row 3, and then row 4, and then row 5. Okay. The edge of the last tile row meets with the top of the porch roof. Row 6 goes on the top of the right side. Yeah, okay. Okay. So we've got some pictures here of how this is supposed to get assembled. Let me turn around and tile row 7 through 11. Row 12 goes on top of the left side of the house. Okay. And then we have our ridge tile. Okay. I feel like maybe I should put glue like on the roof and not on the piece of paper. I don't know if I'm supposed to like... It just doesn't tell me like how much of the tile I should be covering in glue. Right? Like, is it supposed to stick out? Is it supposed to not stick out? Who knows? I figure they're tiles, right? Tiles are supposed to stick out. Character in a show I used to watch his colorblind, didn't realize that the person of color was talking about how much he liked his brown shoes. They were Kelly green shoes. So his friend said, "Brown? That is green. What color do you think you are?" That's a valid question, I guess, in that situation. Hopefully he thought he was just a different shade of brown and not, he didn't like think he was green. But you never know. Come on, glue. It sounds kind of hilarious though. did I put my... I'm like, I know I had tweezers. Yeah, that's the thing. So I had a friend who I used to love playing Trivial Pursuit with. I mean, I in general love playing Trivial Pursuit. I really love playing Trivial Pursuit with him. He generally would, like, beat everybody at it, because he was very, very good at it. He also was a double Jeopardy champion. Won Jeopardy twice. But he would, like, go and get all the pieces of the pie. So his punishment for, you know, being much better than everybody else at Trivial Pursuit was that he had to find his own pie pieces, because they all looked like shades of beige to him. And we felt that that was fairly valid, fair punishment for knowing all the answers and winning every game. He had to find his own colorful pieces and identify them. Okay, welcome back. I don't think I said anything story interesting, other than punishing people for knowing all the answers. Don't have a lot of leverage to, like, press down to glue things, but that's okay. I think after this adventure, this little tub of glue is going to be done, and I'm going to have to migrate to the giant tub of glue that I bought, which so far I've used as a dead blow mallet, and not actually as glue. When I was assembling that set of Terraforming Mars broken token assembly pieces, there was a bunch of things that just, like, needed to be hammered into place. Oh, I'm sorry about the car ad. Like, I know that they've introduced a way, like a better way for us to know when the ads are happening, but when I'm, like, super focused on, you know, gluing this shit together, not necessarily noticing the fact that it's telling me, like, it is telling me. Like, I want to give them credit where it's due. They did introduce the new stuff where they tell me that they're about to run an ad. And they even give me, like, a button to pause it right there, but that only works if I am, like, very actively paying attention, and I sadly was not. So I am, to be fair, I have Stream Manager up over there, and I have OBS in front of me. Because I'm not playing a game, I'm not doing anything on my screen, I am able to keep them in front of me, but I'm staring at this. So, not quite, okay. Stop coming up. like, I need you to actually stay pressed down. Just really worried about pressing, pressing too hard on, like I don't want to smush the whole thing, right? Because I just pressed really hard. So... that is what this thing is for. Let me see if I can actually set that up. Oh God, stop moving. To actually hold it? No. This is totally the wrong angle for that. Yeah, right? Like, I feel like I'm going to Hulk smash the roof, and I don't want to do that. How do I I have these tiny calipers for a reason. I just don't necessarily have a good way to leverage them. Maybe. Like, will this work, or is this going to slide the hell down? No, it's just going to slide the hell down. Just going to slide down, and we don't want that. Okay, guess not useful this time, calipers. Just wish I had like binder clips or something, like something that I can. So, yes, but you're assuming that I have clothespins. I have things that were maybe theoretically clothespins someday, but they were not sold as clothespins, and they have like rubber rings on them and are not for use with clothes or pinning. So, you know, probably not appropriate to use on stream. This is like that time when I was streaming, like taking out of the molds the dice, the resin dice that I made. And we were talking about the fact that like they had bubbles, and there's special machines that you know, like can vibrate the tables out. And you know, like it's these big flat, like it's a flat surface that just kind of vibrates everything. There's like, that's a $150 surface. Like, I'm not buying that for my, I am trying to make some dice out of resin. But then I realized, you know, you can totally get a back massager and hold it like next to your mold, and that will in fact vibrate the mold enough to get the bubbles out. I have not tried that yet, but it seems like it would work, right? Okay. Functional fixedness. That's a good way to phrase that. As Alton Brown tells us, there's only room for one unitasker in the kitchen. I'm pretty sure there's only room for one unitasker really anywhere. Now, in his case, he was talking about a fire extinguisher, and frankly, that is a great thing to have in the kitchen. And he's right, there's definitely room for that unitasker. Also, I've absolutely used my fire extinguisher to be a nutcracker in the kitchen. So, like, it's not even a unitasker, really. Or it doesn't have to be a unitasker. Yes, he was very anti single task kitchen gadgets, because they start appearing in the stores, right? And people like me, who cannot walk by a kitchen gadget without buying one, then we end up with like drawers full of things that are like, yes, this is an asparagus steamer, and you cannot do anything else with it other than steam asparagus. By the way, when I was getting married and I was looking at like wedding registry nonsense, you could get a silver Tiffany's asparagus steamer for a lot of dollars. And like, why? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing that exists? Who on this planet needs an asparagus steamer from Tiffany's? Sterling silver asparagus steamer from Tiffany's. Like, what function in whose life is that fulfilling? Not that I begrudge somebody a Tiffany's asparagus steamer, but also they are creating the sort of economy that caters to their existing. A Tiffany's asparagus steamer. I feel like our world would probably be better if that wasn't a thing. Nope. You'd think that, and yet here we are. So it's like a tall, thin cylinder, so you could take your asparagus stalks like standing up. And, like, I can see wanting to do that to steam an asparagus. You can steam many things that way. It's just like a tall, thin pot. But also, it's the silver from Tiffany's part. Like, if I were to get something from Tiffany's, I feel like asparagus steamer is not it, and I would want like jewelry, you know? And I'm not even like a jewelry person, so I basically don't want anything from Tiffany's, but like, if someone came to me and said, you must have a thing from that location, I think I'd still not pick an asparagus steamer. Because, like, just no. Also, just no. I might have opinions on this subject matter. I feel like we're almost, but not quite, done with this roof. Which is good because I have a date at 8:30, so like my stream is time limited by that. Oh no! I am sorry. We will be very sad to not have you, Disco, but I appreciate you coming and hanging out even a little bit. I hope everything's okay. Air hugs! Yes! Someday soon I hope to see you on streams. But until then, I will see you in various streams and chats. Have a lovely, lovely evening and a good Thursday. Ooh, Sunday. I am flying to Seattle on Sunday evening, but I will try to watch you. And if you're streaming late at night, I will be in the Pacific time zone, which is going to make that easier. Bye. Come on, roof parts. Stayed glued on. Please stay glued on. No Hulk smashing the roof. Just Hulk gently pressing on the roof, I guess. Gently pressing is okay. Stay glued down on the edges and everywhere else, but especially on the edges. Right, like, swear to God, roof tiles. Stay attached. Like, pretend like you like the other roof tiles and you want to hang out together. Pretend like you enjoy each other's company, you and all these other tiles. Look at all this togetherness that you could and should be doing. what am I supposed to do with that last tile while this is getting vaguely held down? Position the row of ridge tiles and fix them in place with quick drying glue. Use tweezers or finger to put them in place. Okay. Alright, so these are our ridge tiles. Which way do they go? Alright, well, for this we have this quick drying Gorilla Glue, which will hopefully not be like solidly not working. So here's hoping that we can squeeze some quick drying glue out into the various parts of this. And then it said apply with tweezers. Okay. Oh, stop peeling up, you stupid roof tile. I'm gonna just take advantage of the fact that this quick glue exists. And tack down all these bits of these other tiles. Conveniently, making sure that they stop peeling up. These things glued down and tacked down, and it's a porch. It's a completed porch with now a roof, and I'm sticking to everything, so that's great. Alright, we still have another piece to finish today, which is this stove. But okay, so it is basically attach the rear wall, part 6. Okay, this is part 6, to the hood, part 5. To make sure the wall is evenly situated, the slides of the hood can be pulled slightly apart. Oh, this is, oh, interesting. These click in. Attach what to the rear of the hood? It looks like it just slides in, but it like doesn't. Oh, maybe it does. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's slid in. You will attach the flute later. For now, fix it to the rear wall so that it doesn't get lost. Okay, but how do I fix it to the rear wall? Oh, I just stick it into the hole. Okay, so it doesn't get lost. Excellent. It will not get lost. And I'm gonna close all my glues before they dry out. So this is our top of the kitchen hood, the kitchen stove. For parts that are not being used yet, keep them safely in a separate box. I don't have any parts that are not being used yet. Like, all the parts are being used. So for next time we build, in step 6, or in book 6 rather, we're going to be creating the legs and base plate of the kitchen stove. And we're going to have Moomin Mama with her purse. And we're going to start with making the ground floor wall frame. I don't know like where that fits in the grand scheme of things, but we'll deal with it, I guess, when we get to it. I don't know, like, do we do more with those walls later? Because we have also books 7. Yeah, we make more wall and we finish the stove and we make a little ladder in 7. And in 8 we do another wall frame. We get a snorkel maiden. And it looks like we finished the stove with the doors and the latches. Oh, and it's one of those stoves that like has all the different compartments, so that's pretty cool. Excellent. Well, those are going to be another time, because I do have to wrap things up and kind of put stuff away and go get ready to have date time. But because I'm not going to be able to have date time next week because I'll be in Seattle. This is trash, and these things which did not turn out to be useful this time around, but I'm sure they will be. And this thing of water for later. I'm gonna need to wash this brush, but I will do that when I'm not talking to folks here on stream. How do I? Yeah, that's the way to do that. Okay. So that is that, friends. That was our assembly of booklet 4. So we're slowly getting there. But in the meanwhile, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for however long we've been live. Not like a huge long amount, an hour and a half, but it is what it is. I will be back later. I'm going to try to stream a little bit more tomorrow because I haven't assembled anything in a little while, so I have a bunch backed up. So I have this box. We just did 5, and it also has 6, 7, and 8. And then I have another box that has 9, 10, 11, 12, and another box with 13, 14, 15, 16. So I got like a whole bunch more parts, including wallpaper. So I'm very excited about this. But in the meanwhile, have a great rest of your Thursday evening, and I will see everybody later. Have a lovely time. Don't think there is really like anybody on who we can raid. Oh, well, there's Noodle. We could raid Noodle, but I don't want to interrupt her playing Stray Gods, so I think we're just going to sign off. So thank you for a lovely time, folks, and I will see everybody later.